Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business. Hello, and welcome to this amazing bonus episode where I was interviewed by Arthur inside of his group. Arthur is an amazing coach and is one of my clients also, but he's been in business for 26 years and he was an amazing interviewer. He asked so many amazing questions in such an amazing way. I know I'm saying amazing a lot, but honestly, instead of going half an hour, we went 50 minutes. That's how good it was. Like, we just could not stop talking about the challenges and what works in business, what didn't work, and how I overcome things. And so I know that I've shared other interviews, and I have to say, this went to a whole new level. Everybody was commenting, part two, this is too good. We want to see more. We want to hear more from Francesca. So truly excited to share this with you guys. Enjoy.
Welcome everyone, Arthur Bablis here, and we're going live, MBX Insights interview series. And boy, we've got an exciting interview or conversation we're going to have today with one of my most favorite people in the world. I'm back and I'm excited because today's our interview, and I've got a very special person I want to introduce you to. And I've been following this woman for the last 7 years. I've seen her. She popped up in Facebook, being a life coach or a coach, or wanting to get her name out there and help people make a difference with the work that she's doing. And I've seen her grow in the last 7 years and develop a business which is turning, it's turned over $5 million so far. And so how does that happen? How do people do that? What systems did she put in place? What type of mindset does she need to have in order for her to do that? What challenges does she need to overcome? And because of that, she was so compelling that I needed to join her sold out academy and take her on as my business coach to help us take our business to the next level. And so today we're going to have a conversation with her. We want her to share her secrets, her tips to be able to help you, anyone who might be an existing coach, a therapist, a practitioner, a healer who wants to be able to take the business to the next level. But more importantly, not only about the business, but how can they achieve what they want to achieve in their business and feel fulfilled and feel happy knowing that they're making impact helping others. So I'm going to introduce the one and only Francesca Moi. Come on down. Let's have a chat. Francesca's in the house.
Thank you so much, Arthur, for having me. Good to be here. What an introduction.
And look, you got the pink jacket. I've got the pink background just for you. I've got it all happening today.
I love it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to be here. There's 1,100 people in this amazing group and community that you created. You must be so proud of that.
Yeah, well, you're helping us do that, so I'm very proud of that. So thank you so much. And talking about the group, we're live, and we got people sending messages already. So we got Dean here, we got Nadine here. So if you're watching it live, just let us know you're watching it live. If you're going to watch it on the replay, so hashtag replay. Look, and as we're chatting, because Francesca's also getting these messages, if you've got a question, if you want to ask a question or I don't know, just contribute somehow, maybe get some support from Francesca or myself, just put it in the chat and we'll get to you straight away. So Francesca, you're in the house. I'm excited to speak to you because, as I said earlier in the introduction, I've been watching you for 7 years. It took me 7 years to actually do work with you. So,
It's better late than never.
I know. So, in NLP, we say you got a 1-time convincer, 2-time convincer, 3-time. I had like a 7-time convincer.
I love it.
But seriously, what it was is, you put a post on Facebook. You had a live event. After COVID, you had one of your first live events that I went to early on in the year, and you said, who wants to come? I got a couple of tickets, who wants to come? And I got on a call with you to say, yeah, I'll come along to this live event. And before we knew it, we're working together. And it just what really got me was your story. What really got me is the journey that you went on. And for me, look, being in this business for 25 years, and so we're in the business where we train coaches, therapists, healers, practitioners, not only brand new ones, but existing ones who actually master the craft. And we see coaches come and go. And even myself, it's like the most challenging thing that a coach has is, well, now that I'm certified, how do I build my business? How do I get my clients? And, there's a lot of people out there who will say, we're going to help you develop a six-figure business and, you know, all the shiny lights out there. But you're the only person I've come across that does it in such an authentic way, in a fun way, and in a way where you actually care for the people that you work with. And, you know, when you talk to people, they just think about the money or about themselves. You're different. You actually think about the people you work with, and it comes across that way. And that's why I'm working with you, and that's why I'm excited to have you here today. Tell us your story, and that can help these other guys who are watching. Who else is here? We got Bianca's here.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Good. Tell us the Francesca story.
Well, this is so interesting, right? Because it's part of the process of, like, you know, the ups and downs of business, and the really be resilient to stay in business. Because honestly, it hasn't been easy 7 years, and it's just not going to be easy ever. Like, it's just business, and we're going to learn how to just like continue through it. And the person that we become, for me, business the last 7 years has been the biggest business personal development journey, the biggest spiritual journey. I saw myself in a situation that I was like, oh, I didn't know this side of me. I think I've hid this side of me for myself, even let alone from others. So I get a lot of messages and comments from people lately. I'll be like, you're different. You used to be so annoying.
Look, I love what you said there, because Tony Robbins says, right, he said, Business Mastery said, business is a spiritual journey.
Yes.
It's an evolution of your spirit and your soul to be able to develop something where you're sharing with others and making a difference. And it's you need to deal with your stuff to get to that level. And so, and perhaps, not perhaps, that's what's happened over the years. That's what I've seen, the growth in yourself, I suppose in ourselves too, as business grown. I mean, people reflect each other, but that's what it is. It's you evolve as a different person as you have got a message that you're sharing with everyone else. But look, I'll stop talking, because I want to hear the story. I want to hear how you started, because, you know, I want to hear the story where you only had $20 in your bank account.
Oh my goodness.
You know, the crazy Italian from Italy doing NLP in Italy,
Yes.
right? And then coming to Australia wanting to start a business, and where are you now?
Yeah. Well, after I did an NLP course back in 2014, I decided to come back to Australia thinking, you know, I'll be a life coach, and, you know, it will be easy to find clients, and that's all I was going to do. And 9 months later, and I made $120. And this is exactly, I've resonated with your story the other day, because the reason why I made $120 is because I felt like a fraud. I didn't think I was good enough as a coach. I didn't have enough experience. Even if I had all these qualification in paper, I just took a qualification in 3 months. I can't be that good, right? In my brain, I wasn't confident enough. So I really resonated with you when we were chatting on the phone the other day, and you were saying, like, we help those coaches that, you know, they can become good, but just don't own the craft. So they don't have the confidence to go out there and sell. And that's exactly where I was. And then I realized that I had to face that fear. I had to just, you know, be rejected. I had to go out there and stuff it up. And the way that I did is that I did it for free. I was like, you know what? Let me just work with 10 people for free. If I don't help them, I just go back to a job. But if I can help them in some sort of ways, then that means that there's something that I can actually bring to the table. And so then I can start charging. And so I stopped listening to what people were saying, like, charge more, just put your prices up. I was like, I don't think I'm worth $120. I can't do it in an hour. And so it changed everything. The moment that I put everything for free, there was no pressure, and there was genuinely willingness of helping. Like, I just wanted to help those people. And the feedback that I got, it was like, how do you know that that's what I'm thinking? How are you in my brain? And I was like, okay, wait, what? Like, the comments are great. Maybe I truly have something here that I can work on. And then I started to charge very little, but I focus on quantity. So I got my first 10 clients in literally 2 weeks, and there was like $2,700 for 10 clients. It was very cheap, but it didn't matter, because again, it built my confidence. It built like the feedback, the testimonials. They will send me people, and it just like all of a sudden I had a $5,000 month, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. And so
actually, just on that, I want to stop there, because just thinking about your story now, I haven't mentioned this before, but or thought about it now, but talking to you now, it's like, what you did there, most coaches do that. It's like they'll get the qualification and I'll start working with people for free, and I'll just give the services. And I think we all fall into that. I think it's a great way to start, but there's a trap there as well too, right?
Yeah.
And the trap is like, you know, you come it's like codependency. It's like you're giving away your stuff for free. You don't value yourself. So what was the missing link, or what was the jump for you? Because you gave stuff away for free to build your confidence.
Yeah.
But then what was the switch? What was the difference?
I
for
love
you?
that. You know what?
Because most coaches don't do that. Most coaches stay in that free zone,
Yeah.
stay in the codependent zone,
Yeah.
stay in the zone where I don't feel worthy enough. So what did you do to
Yeah.
change that, to then get that 5,000 a month?
Yeah, I had a plan before I started freebie. So, and that's exactly what we said before. Success, you had a quote before that you shared. Success is about following a structure. What did you say?
So Bob Proctor quote, right? Success is related to the systems that you have in place.
That's right.
So in business, the systems you have in business, or in life, the systems you have in your life.
1,000,000%. So what I did before I got into the free calls, I decided, okay, I'm going to have 10 free clients in the next 10 days. And then I'm going to have 10 clients on $180 for 4 weeks. And then for 4 weeks. And then I'm going to have 10 clients on $270. And then I'm going to go up to $500 per client from there on. Right. And so I decided already before I get there, right? So I was like, if I do my 10 clients, then there's no negotiation. I'll just follow the structure. I'm going to do 10 clients for free, 10 clients at $180, which is $40 per session, right? But it didn't matter because I just needed to do what I said I was going to do.
7 years ago too, right? So that
7 years ago. Yeah. And it's fascinating because that having a plan, then no matter what I was feeling, no matter I remember still now, the first person that I went from free to paid, I stopped. I even said that, look, I used to do free and I stopped doing free and it's $180. She goes, per hour. I'm like, no, for 4 sessions. She goes, oh, of course I'm in. And I was like, what? And like really would never forget. Like I was like, what? And she was like, what's your bank account? I'll transfer now. And she transferred $180 in my account. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was happier than when I reached my $1 million business. Like, honestly, I was so proud of myself. I was like, okay, this is good. And the next person, she also said yes, because I didn't have to deal with the objection of money, because $180 for 4 sessions. Come on, right? If you like the session that we just had, is a no-brainer. But that helped my confidence. And then slowly putting the price up and always decided. So I've always done that. On that day, I put the price up. After this many clients, I put my price up. Like I just always decided like that. So there was no emotion. Because what happened, people do it on emotion. They have one client and the one client say, really, that's so cheap. Oh, I'll put my price up. But they haven't tested the market. Like they don't know that everybody thinks they're cheap. One person, that's not enough for you to make that decision. Just stick with your plan. If you decided to have 10 people at that price, just go with it. Even if all 10 say that it's free, it does not matter. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like what you said there. So it's you're very clear. You set the structure in place and said, okay, here's what I'm doing. Here's my plan. 10 people. Here's what and you're doing it for a purpose. You're doing it to build your confidence. And it's interesting. You said you're doing it for your confidence. When your confidence grew because you were doing something. And as you're doing the coaching work, you started to feel you're more competent in delivering. You felt more confident in actually delivering on your promise. When you know you can do something, you feel confident. That's when you get confident to stretch yourself further. And Brendan Burchard says in positive psychology, that's the confidence loop. And so confidence, a lot of people work on confidence in this industry. And I think that's the result of something, the result of being competent. How do you become a confident human being? You become competent in life. How do you become confident in relationships? You become competent in relationships. So you need to know how to do relationships. You need to know how to do life, the resilience, as you said earlier. And so with business, when you do things, do it over and over and over 10 times, you became competent. And when you become competent, you feel more confident. And when you're more confident, you stretch yourself more.
Yeah. And a lot of people wait until I'll do this once I feel confident. And instead we say, you do it and you will feel confident.
Yeah.
The confidence will come once we take action. There's not gonna be like, oh look, wait a minute, I'm gonna go after there's a competent train, a confident train. Let me just jump on that train and then all of a sudden feel confident and then I'll be good. No, you gotta be okay to feel incompetent and feel stretched and feel really like about yourself, And the more you do that, the more the confidence will come. Literally, like something like interesting, like I then salsa. And last night I was there, and this lady came to me, and she's like, "How long have you been dancing?" I'm like, 7 years. She goes, "Oh, will I ever dance like you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, in 7 years."
Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
But not tomorrow, right, darling? But go to classes, like, but how? I'm like, go to classes. Like, I went to classes 5 days a week for literally a year. I was obsessed with dancing, and then I learned, and it wouldn't never happen if I just sit here watching other people dancing.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do the doing, right? You got to dance. Yeah.
So you had your 10 clients. You got your first client at $180, which is awesome, for 4 sessions.
Of course I did.
All right, $40 a session. Same with me. People, when I started with massage, people would come in for $50 for massage, and we're there for 2 hours massaging them. Like $50, you know. And all my certificates on the wall for me, not for them, just so I can feel worthy.
Yeah.
So you've gone from 180 to your first $5,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then what happened? Because you became known as the meetup queen, and
Yeah.
you set up your business, right? The meetup.
Meetup queen.
Yeah, the meetup queen. You know, and you set up your own business, and meetup, and Facebook Internet Academy, right?
Yeah. Listen, this is very. I don't think I've ever shared this part of the story. So when I was doing all of this life coaching, and I had the business started to move, I already had a Facebook group and a meetup group, right? So I started those, and I generated clients from there, which was great. But what happened is that other coaches in Brisbane started to come to my meetup, and they would just like watch me, and I'm like, what? Like, those people are coaches. Why do they come to me? Like, they're not gonna learn anything new. Like, they already know this stuff, right? And then in the break, they would say, well, how did you fill the room? How did you get 45 people in the room? I'm like, oh, I just use Meetup. They're like, I've got a Meetup. I've got 0 people. I'm like, oh, if you want, we can just hang out on Saturday and I'll show you. And they're like, yeah. And so it started like that. And then I showed a group of people, and then they went and do it. And they're like, we got 40 booked with clients. Like, this Meetup stuff is powerful. I'm like, oh, okay, good on you. I'm glad that you did. And the more of us run groups, the more we change the world. It's at the end of the day what we want to do. And my coach told me, why did you teach your competitors? I'm like, because it's just like, we're all here to help. It doesn't matter if I help you help, as long as, but they're going to take your clients. And it got to my head, and I'm like, scarcity. So I started to like hide all my secret, and I wouldn't tell anything to anybody. And then at one point, someone else said to me, you should charge for your secrets. And I was like, maybe I could actually do that. But then I had this other imposter syndrome of going, I'm just starting to feel confident about this life coaching. I'm not going to become a business coach. I don't even know how to do business. I'm winging it. Like, I can't teach it. But then what happened is another step, right? As I was moving in my business, people behind me, just wanted to be, they were not 20 steps behind me. They were just 1 step behind me. And I feel that that's what I've always done. Like, most of my clients are just behind me. They're not, I don't usually attract beginners. They're just people that are like watching me and are like, hey, I'm seeing that if I tweak one thing, I can get to where you are. Can you just show me? And that's what I also enjoy working with more. And so it's fascinating because I've always been the brave one to just go forward and test something new, and then it worked, and then figure out what's the bits, and then I just show it to other people. So that was scary. That was very scary though.
I like what you just said there, that you're always just maybe 1 step or 2 steps ahead of the people and I think for me, that's what makes a leader special, because the analogy I give is you can either be a brave heart and lead the army from the front of the army, or you can be the king on the top of the hill leading the army into battle, because there's so many people in this industry who help coaches, or say they help coaches build businesses and whatever the case is, and they distance themselves from their clients. Like, and it's like, oh, here's what you do, but it's not, they're not doing it themselves. They're not in the trenches with them. And I think that's what, for me, you made it so compelling to join, is because you're in the trenches, you're there with them. It's not that you're up in the hill and telling people what to do, and that's what's special. And
I think that from the hill, you're not in the arena. So how can I show it, right? To be honest, I try to do that. I try to go on the hill and just hide and just like be there. But the thing is, I don't feel passionate up there. I just get bored. I don't feel connected to my audience. I don't feel a purpose. I'm like, I'm just lonely here on the mountain by myself. This is not what I started all of this for. So um guilty. Like I've tried to distance myself because sometimes I felt drained by my audience, my clients, and but that was because I wasn't in the best version of myself. And so I would just do nothing else but business. And then obviously the rest of my life was affected. And then I will get upset with the business and try to go on the mountain. Right. Instead, what I learned is that if I fill my own cup, this would never drain me. The business will always be, a part that actually fulfill me.
Okay, so you just mentioned fill your own cup. What are the things, obviously, the things that you do personally fill your own cup? And you mentioned salsa dancing, that's obviously one.
Dancing, yeah.
Okay, but what are the things that you've done over the years that have helped you to be resilient, to be able to overcome, because building a business is an emotional roller coaster. It's worse than being in a relationship in some kinds. Sometimes, I mean, it is a relationship. I love your quote too, and you say like your business is a 3D printout of your thinking. So is your relationship a 3D printout of your thinking, and your health.
Your body.
3D. I mean, your whole life is a 3D. Your outside world is a 3D printout of your inner world.
Yeah.
So what are the things that you've done throughout the years and you're consistent with to be able to fill your cup? And that you can maybe give some of these guys a tip and that are watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I am someone that I get bored easily, like very easily. So if I don't keep my life exciting, I get into a spiral of I drop everything. So I'm either everything or nothing. I've accepted that now. I used to make it wrong, and I'm like, this is how I am, and that's it. I'm gonna enjoy that. So I've tried a lot of things, and as I try one thing, I would just go, oh, I'll do this all the time, and then I'll get bored of it, and then I'll try something else. But that got me to stretch myself. I also find like new things, and as I learn new things, I'm a student again, which means I'm getting again in the arena closer to my audience instead of just like always do things that I know how to do it and I've got the clarity. So I've tried everything. I tried learning how to play piano, learning to play the flute. That's a whole new story. I've climbed mountains. That's another story. Like I just always find I do ice bath, I do breath work, I do all the things that I know are going to help me to become the best version of myself in every area of my life. And I've got life coaches, I've got business coaches, I've got mentors, I've got lots of, hey Deb, good to see you here, gorgeous. I've got lots of different things that I do for me to really be the best version of myself. But let's be honest here, I'm not perfect. So I go like, yeah, for 6 months, and then I start something happen, or I'm sick or whatever, and then I do nothing for 3 months, and then I feel down and I feel struggle, and I struggle to go on social media, and I struggle to follow my own strategy, and then I go, wait a minute, what happened? How come I was happy 6 months ago, I was on fire, now I'm here? Oh, I stopped doing the things that make me feel good. And so then I go back and do it. So I haven't been perfect in the last 7 months. I just go again, I go through my roller coaster. But when I do my bits, when I follow like the strategy, I meditate in the morning and I eat healthy and I drink my lemon tea in the morning, when I do that routine that a lot of, successful people do, I do feel the best. So it's just a matter of to remember ourselves, right?
So when you're following a routine, when you're following certain rituals and you do that consistently is when you do the best. Because, what you're saying, I think a lot of people here are going to relate to, because same with me. I look back over 25 years being in this business, and I'm a great binge builder. I binge build my business. I'm a binge marketer. I'm a binge worker. Like you'll go full on and then full on and just hope that you grow back down, and you're always constantly growing, right?
Yeah.
Always moving forward.
I love that. Can I add one thing in there? The only way that my business didn't go like that as such, it did a little bit in COVID, and that's because I had to start. So this is what happened. The first 5 years, I built system, procedures, everything. And then my team were running the business. So I could go disappear and back in and disappear and back in. The business was just steady because I had the stuff, I had the procedure, I had the systems, and it will go. Then COVID happened, and I had to go back driving the bus. I couldn't just do ups now. I had to go back right in it. And I was willing to do that. I went back. I was a bit resentful at first. I'm like, wait a minute. I just had I was working 3 days a week. Like, what happened? No, how do I want to work again full time? What the hell? But that's okay. I did it, complaining, but I did it. And then when I stopped complaining, this is when it actually started working. And then I had to get.
Wait. So when you stop complaining, things start to work. Yeah. Everyone write that down. If you're watching live or you're getting it in replay, write that down. When you stop complaining, life starts to work. That's a quote. That's a quote you got to post.
That's it. Let's quote it. It's so true though, right? It's like, this is something like fascinating. Them one of the other day I've read it somewhere, or one of my coaches told me, and they said, if you knew for sure that everything you want in your life, it would happen by the 1st of October 2022, how would you live this next 3 months, sorry. And I'm like, oh my God, I will have the time of my life. I will date everybody, last 3 months for free, last 3 months without a successful business. Let's just enjoy it, right? Enjoy not having responsibility. Let's enjoy not having someone, right? It's so many things, but we wait until we get there to feel happy, which is never going to happen. So we complain our way there, which obviously is going to always push that forward, right? Yeah,
I love what you said, that we wait to get there to be happy. So we sort of set some goals or outcomes, and we think that when we achieve that, the success, the external achievement is going to give us happiness. So does happiness bring success, or does success bring happiness? It's interesting, because I know from my parents, I learned you got to become successful, you got to work hard, and that's when you're going to be happy. But there's a 75-year TED Talk study that's followed a family to the secret of happiness, and talk about does happiness comes first, and people are more happy are the ones that become more successful. And that's what I got from Greece, right? I'm in Mykonos in the islands, and there is an island in Greece called Icarus, which is a blue zone. People live past 100 years of age. And when you look at the reasons they do that, is what they're thinking and what they focus on. And in Greek, my parents used to say all the time, "Υγεία να έχουμε," and that's health. Focus on your health first. Health, happiness, and then success. And those 3 Greek words are υγεία, ευτυχία, and επιτυχία. And so a lot of people focus on success to be happy, only to lose their health. Right? Flip it the other way around.
Guilty. I did that.
Yeah, but what did you put in place? Because this is really what you're doing now with your business, and you said before, like, you binge build. You had a system in place. You worked hard for the 5 years to develop systems that worked for you to build your business, and systems that other coaches were able to implement to start building business. In fact, that's what I was compelled to join you, is because you know what? Hey, what's lacking for me is actually having the systems, the support, the back end, the office. People say you're great at what you do, and it's humbling for me, because we know what we love to do, and we're cantillating, we're in the zone, but also know where the areas that we need to focus on, which is the systems.
Yeah.
And so that's what you specialize in. That's what you've created with your Sold Out Academy, and that's what you've actually helped hundreds and hundreds of coaches be able to build their business. So tell us more about the evolution of Sold Out Academy, what you're doing now, and what can you offer these guys who are listening?
Yeah, of course. And by the way, while you guys are all watching here, we would love for you to comment. If you resonate, just say totally. When I say how many of you guys are resonating with what we're talking about today, because it's so important to just be aware of where we're at in the business journey and how we are going about it. Because complaining and not enjoying it doesn't help. So I honestly believe that at the beginning of the business, systems are not needed. At the beginning of business, you just need to hustle, right? That is just like, you just get there, right? If you get to, thank you, Joanne. Good to see you here. Thanks, Seb. So the beginning, you just have to hustle your way there. There's just no other way around it, right? You just hustle until you get pretty much to 100K. So I would love you guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for saying totally. Love it. Love to have you all over here. So now that you're listening to this, just where are you at? Are you in the hustling, right, which is up to 100K, or you already passed that, which means we need to put systems. Once you've reached 100K, that's when we go, now we need to put systems, procedures to be able to scale.
And I just want to take you back a bit. I love what you say, you got to hustle to 100K. But when you say hustle, what's the thing that makes someone hustle? Because a lot of people think hustling, I don't want to be hustling and pushing.
No.
You know what the hustle is? It's your passion. Your passion gets you to 100K. Because with passion, you just want to get out there and do whatever you can. So you actually use your passion to get to 100K, and then you're saying put systems in place to scale further.
Yes. Thank you for reframing that. Absolutely. So we have a negative connotation to hustle. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that, right? But it's like bring passion, exactly right. So be excited about sharing about what you do. Tell everybody, like you can't hold back. It's like, oh my gosh, like I need to tell you guys what I created. I'm so excited. Everybody's gonna love it. Like bring that energy and have fun along all those the first 100K for you to get there. And once you get there, then you know you got something that the market likes. You got something that you know it's working, that is selling. And now we need to have a look at this and go like, okay, how can we systemize it? How can we create procedures around it? How can we delegate the things that you, anything that you do more than once needs to be delegated, like anything. But until 100K, you just have to do it, because it's just like you need to work out what works, what doesn't work. You need to tweak it. You need to be open to just test it all out. And then once we get to 100K, then we already know what works. Now we're going to start to create systems, delegate it, pass it along. You know, literally, I love this part because it's where you'll be able to scale. So I went from 120K the first 12 months after I made nothing. The first 12 months I was actually making money, I made 120K.
Wait, so from $180 first client to 100K, how long?
6 months.
Okay, so you went 6 months from 10 free clients, then $180 for your first client, 4 sessions, then 6 months from $180 to 100K.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I could not believe it. And then my accountant said to me, you know that you just made 100K in the last 6 months. And I was like, no, not possible. The first month I made only like 5, so it's not possible. And he's like, I'm like, wow, okay. And that is because I pivot fast. Yeah. I wasn't waiting for things to be perfect. I wasn't waiting for you know, someone to tell me what to do. I just tried, and I made a lot of mistakes. Some mistakes that you're like, did she just do that? Like, this is done, like reputation ruined.
Well, look, just on that, if we've got people watching who are just starting out as coaches and yet to make $180, well, hey, they just need to get a hold of you, because once they make the first $180, in 6 months they can get the 100K, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Honestly, though, like,
just put in the chat, I want Francesca's help. Just say help.
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely. The other day, one of my clients said that, like, I just joined 3 months ago and I just made my first 20K. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I love to hear. But those are the people that are brave, right? Those are the people that they just are willing to jump in the arena and get themselves dirty. They're not like, oh no, like I just want to wait until everything is perfect and then I'll go to I'm doing market research in the meantime. I'm like, stuff market research. Market research is jump in the arena and do it. Like, get it done. Love it. Let's go, Bianca. Let's do it, Joanne. Fantastic. I'd love to help you guys. Georgina, good to see you here. That's all right.
So from then 100K, then from 100K to $1 million business, how long did it take? So
that was in 2015. Then 2016, I made $480,000, and that it was with systems, procedure, and virtual assistants. I was like, help me! I was like, didn't know what I was doing. And then the year after, so 2017, was 980,000. For 20K, I didn't get to the million. Oh, so frustrating.
Yeah, so basically, within 3 years, turning over $1 million in your business.
Yeah. And then the year after, we went to 1.3, then 1.5, and then we went down to 1 million, and that's when I got depressed. Can you believe it?
Oh my God! Stop it.
2020. I was like, I'm the biggest loser. I just went from 1.5 to 1 million. And everybody's like, you just made 1 million the first year of COVID. Like, that's good. And I was like, no, I'm the biggest loser. I used to make 1.5. I'm going backwards. Like, I just felt it's over. This is it. It was really hard. It was really hard for my mindset to accept. I just thought, I can't tell anybody. I just need to keep this a secret. It was just like, it was a whole other story for another day.
Probably a good story to hear another day too.
Yeah, sure. Happy to come back and share it if you guys want to. Joanne, my darling, you're going 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Look, it's okay. Don't give yourself hard time for it. Just accept that that's still part of the journey. At least you're doing the step back, right? You're still going forward. There's steps. There's people that go 2 steps forward and 20 back, and then they hide in the 20 back and they stay there forever. So just be proud of yourself for keep testing and keep trying. The thing is, eventually you got to ask yourself, have I got enough tools? Have I got enough support? Have I got enough help for me to get myself there, right? So don't give yourself hard time. Be proud of you at least moving forward, right? Celebrate that. And remember, we got to be happy along the way. You can't go, I'm going to be happy once I stop doing forward and back, right?
But the thing that really also, when I think about your story and, you know, the conversation that we had knowing you now, is like, yes, you did your initial training to become a coach 7 years ago. But you continue to learn. You constantly sharpen the saw. You constantly learn your skills. You're learning your skills. You're improving your coaching skills. And I think that's reflective in how you coach your clients now and what you're able to give. You didn't just stop. So a lot of people learn one, they do it once, like you only have dinner once in your life. No, you eat once and then you never eat again. You learn something and then they think they know it. They get on their high horse and I don't need to do it anymore. And what happens is, they jump into all these opportunities to build businesses and they're doing stuff. Suddenly they get clients and they don't know what to do with the clients.
Yeah.
Now,
and that's where you come in.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is what you've done though, is that you continue to not only be coached, learn coaching, learn different skills. So you were able to stay not so much stay ahead of the competition, but actually grow with the industry and how you serve people. You weren't just leaving yourself behind.
I had to. I think but this is fascinating. Thank you for saying that. I didn't feel I had a choice though. I thought I probably obviously did, right? Because we all have a choice. But I didn't think I did because I'm like, if I need to lead, I need to be at the front. So interesting fact, 2020, when the business went down 500,000 and my expenses didn't. So I was like struggling to break even that year. I went and purchased a $30,000 course to become a better life coach. Like life coach, which I was a business coach. So what's that got to do? Because I knew that if I could become better at my coaching skills, I could help even more people.
So look, that's a huge for everyone to listen to and to become aware of, because right now we heard in a moment where you had a downturn in your business, where things were challenging for you, where things were tough. Like people saying, how can they be tough? You're going from 1.5 million to $1 billion. Yeah, but you still had expenses related to $1.5 million.
That's right.
When things were tough, you decided to double down and invest in yourself and invest $30,000 in tough times.
Yes.
To actually improve what you do. Did you hear that, everyone? She invested $30,000 in tough times. So if you're facing tough times right now, what's the secret? Invest $30,000. Now, what did that do for you?
It was priceless for me because obviously the way I choose my coaches is that I watch where I want to go next in business. And if I see that they're walking their talk and I would like to go there, I'm gonna be a client so that I can not just learn the skills, but I also can learn how they do business, how they coach, what their system is in place. So I was a little bit of I was like a client, but I was also like testing them. So I joined and I'm like, I wanted to have a refound. I tried like to see what they say. I didn't want to have a refound, but I wanted to see how they deal with that, right? Yeah. So I was a student, but I was also trying to understand how do they do the business side? How does that look like? Because she seemed like really like, we are open, we are generous with this, with that, and they ain't got a refund, you ain't got your money back, you ain't got to cancel. Like it was quite strict, which is, I'm glad to see, because a lot of people said that to me in the past, like, you're all about money because you don't let me cancel. It's like, well, I can't let you cancel because you signed an agreement, and this is part of the growth, right? It's part of the journey. And it was very interesting, yeah.
Well, your bank manager doesn't say it's okay if you can't pay your mortgage, right? They don't just cancel your mortgage. Jesus
yeah, God. Right? But it's fascinating, right? And during those tough times, because of COVID, I was getting a lot of that. And I was like, wait a minute, I can't cancel the course that I've joined. So why would I let my clients do that? Which, another story for another day. Again, I had a retreat in Italy that I didn't get a refund for 25,000 euro for a 7-day amazing villa. It took me 2.5 years to get refund, and I lost money, didn't refund me everything, which was interesting. So it's like, again, that was part of like me in the business is going down. These people wouldn't get me refund. I'm investing. And what that course gave to me is that awareness of like, who I was and where I was going and how was I coaching my clients and how I was showing up. Like, it was priceless for me, priceless. A lot of the things I knew, but it didn't matter because it was amazing. And I was the only person, so we had different groups, and I was in a group with 10 people. And I was the only one with a business that had 1.5 million, well, 1 million that year, but the year before was 1.5. And I didn't go out and go like, this group is not for me. I'm the best one here. I got nothing to learn. I didn't do any of that, which sometimes people do. I was like, I'm the best one here. Fantastic. I can get clients. This is great.
Well, I love the thinking. Absolutely.
Right. And I learned so much. And also, like, you know, people look up to me. I got people like, you know, follow me from there. It was perfect. It always is perfect. If we just remember that, right?
So tell me, because I know, you know, past time and you're very specific with your time, so you're being very generous.
Sorry.
Man, I'll be here all night. I mean, I'm okay if you want to stay.
We've been having fun. Are you guys watching, having fun? You want us to keep going? If you
want us to keep us going, just say yes, 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 stay with the conversation, because, hey, we got lots we can share, you know, and look, this is what's so exciting working with you, not only like personally for us, you know, it's April. We had that conversation. It's only been 3.5, 4 months that we've been working together, and just with your help, and we got a yes from Joanne, just with your help, you know, we've been able to put some systems in place. We've got a virtual assistant working for us, another one coming on board, and things are starting to, I'm not going to say they weren't optimistic about the future. You're always optimistic about the future. There's always, you know, bullish about what you can do because you believe in yourself. But knowing that the system's in place, like I went away for 5 weeks and things still were happening. Where in the past things weren't happening. I had to put a foot off the accelerator at the start again, lose momentum. And so tell us, you know, you've created, it's the Sold Out Academy. So that's your new branding, your Sold Out Academy. And I can talk about it, but tell us a little bit about the Sold Out Academy and how you can help existing coaches, therapists, practitioners, healers. Because for me, and I've mentioned this to you before, we're in the business of training coaches, and whether they're new or existing to upskill themselves, we're going to be implementing your stuff with the coaches. We're going to be sending them to you to help build a business, because you've got to build your business holistically. You know, a lot of people, they'll learn something in the beginning, stop the learning and go attempt to build a business, and they haven't evolved themselves, and they won't grow their business because they've stopped growing. And there's other people who just keep learning and never go to the business. They think they know it all, but they keep on learning, get more certificates, right? I think you've got to do it all together. It's holistic. You've got to keep on learning while you're focusing on your business. And that's why we're excited working with you, and also excited with my business, the MBX Institute, to be working with you and using our clients with your clients and putting some of your programs in our programs. But you tell us about Sold Out Academy.
I love that. And
what
definitely
your vision is, also with your virtual assistant in business now as well too, and what you can do for these guys.
I love it. Thank you so much. Well, first and foremost, if anybody here, you guys are a coach, I would love you to say coach in the chat, even if you're watching this as a replay. Say that if you're a coach, because you obviously need to always upskill yourself. So if you already just done recently a course, then that's okay. But if you haven't done a course in the last 6 to 12 months, you got to upskill yourself. You got to keep that, like you say, the knife sharpening, right? You got to keep sharpening your skill. You're going to we are, especially like as a coaches, we have people's lives in our hands. Like we need to be on top of our own mindset.
Just on that, so whether you think you're a coach, or maybe you call yourself a therapist or a practitioner or a healer, write down the word that describes you in this industry. Do you call yourself a coach? Do you call yourself a therapist? Do you call yourself a practitioner? Or do you call yourself a healer? Because that's also important too, because we're all doing the same thing, just with a different title and intention. Because all these people are people that we can help in the Sold Out Academy.
Yeah, absolutely. Joanne, fantastic. You're a coach. That's great. So you got to think about that. So you got to sharpen your skills, and there is two sides of your business, right? There is the business side, and you're going to get someone to help you with that. And you need the coaching side. You need to be the best coach out there. And for you to do that, you got to sharpen your skills. You got to keep working on that and keep investing on that, which is priceless, not just for your business. Your life will change. Your personally you are is going to evolve, because how many of us we see coaches that are not walking the talk in all the areas? I was one of those coaches. 2.5 years ago, I had 22 extra kilos, just choosing to carry them around. I didn't want them to let them go. I thought that was part of my identity. I just thought that. And then one day I was on stage and I was teaching my clients, if you are a business, you're a coach, if you're a business owner, you need to walk your talk in every area of your life. And it just hit me. And I just went, oops, what am I doing carrying this 22 kilos? Why do I choose to say that I can't lose it? Why do I choose to say that I'm Italian and I have to eat pasta and pizza? Why can't I change that belief? And boom, off I go. Challenge accepted, brain. And that's what I did. I decided to lose the 20 kilos, let it go, more than lose, because it's never coming back. And I'm choosing to be as healthy, like I'm in my 40th year of life. And I choose that this year I'm going to be the fittest I ever been. Like I'm doing crazy things. I'm dancing salsa. I'm going to like this electrocution exercise. Another story for another day.
Well, actually, you just turned 40, which means you're in your 41st year in your life.
True. I don't like to say that, though.
That's how we say it in Europe, right? All right.
I know. My dad said that. I don't like that story. I like more my story. 40 is better, right? Let's not get 41 yet. I'm still trying to accept that. So fascinating, right? So it's like you gotta have all the bits and don't give yourself hard time. You can't do it all at once, right? I just focus on the business and the mindset the first 5 years, and then I decided to start to focus on my health, and then now I can manage all of them because I've got stuff. I've got like today I started working at 11:30 because I went dancing salsa until midnight. I come home and I'm like, super excited. I can't sleep until 1:30. It's never going to happen. Come to work early on Monday night, right? So I'm like, it's fine. Excited later because I've got systems. So what the Academy can do for everybody, in the Sold Out Academy, we have pretty much 3 pillars, right? So if you are a brand new coach and you really want to learn how to make your first $5,000 a month, you go into the Gold Sold Out Business Academy. So that's going to teach you how to get your first $5,000 a month, following the story that I shared with you before, right? What I did. So we're going to teach you how to use Facebook, Meetup to really become that expert that people will see and get fully booked. Once you've done that 101, then you can go into the VIP level, which is for people that want to now go to groups. They want to now scale the business to groups, and this is where we need to start to put systems in place, procedures, and start to work on that back end of the business to be able to scale it to 200K, 300K, and so more. And then we've got the third part, which is go along with the VIP, which is the virtual assistant agency. So we can find and train virtual assistant. If your business is already making 100K or more, you're ready for a VA. Let's start to delegate things to a virtual assistant so that you can actually focus on what you're good at and start to also focus on the other area of your life to get the balance that you need. Yeah.
So that's what you offer the Sold Out Academy. And so if people want to know more about it, and obviously I know you got a workshop coming up. So let them know about the workshop and how they can be more productive in their business. And when they're more productive, they're going to feel more happier. They're going to achieve more successes. And they're going to feel more fulfilled because they're doing the things that they were destined to do, making an impact with their business.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a workshop on the 19th at 10 a.m. and we're going to talk about business productivity, making sure that your brain is ready for business. Because a lot of us, we're like, I'm a business owner, but I do whatever I want, whenever I want, and I don't have any sort of structure throughout my day. I work whenever I feel like it. And so it means you are overworking and you're underproductive. So we want to change things around. We want you to be super productive with the hours that you're working and then stop, finish, cut it off so that you can enjoy your private life as well and it's not going to be as affected. So if you guys are interested in the Sold Out Academy, just say Sold Out Academy. Because we're in an Arthur group and I respect Arthur a lot, I'm okay for you guys to book a call personally with me, 101, and we can have a conversation on how would this look like if the Sold Out Academy is even the right next step for you, and which pillar is the more important for you that you start with, if it's the gold to get your first 5K, or is it the VIP to get your 20K from a group, or is it virtual assistant? And I'm more than happy to offer that if you are here. So if you are interested, just say Game Changer call, and that sorry, did I say before? Sold Out Academy? Doesn't matter. Say Sold Out Academy, whatever you want to say. Sold Out Academy, and we can reach out and I can free up a couple of hours of my schedule next week and have a conversation with you about the Sold Out Academy. And if that's not something that you want to do, you just want to come to next week, just say a productivity masterclass and we can private message you and send you that details.
Awesome. And look, whether you're watching this live, you can let us know when you're catching the replay as well. Just let us know as well too. And you know, Francesca will reach out with her team.
I will honor that, even if there's a reply. Absolutely.
So because and everyone that's watching, look, we've been in business for 25, 30 years, and we've seen coaches come and go, and the reason why they stay in business, and longevity is the key, right? What is it that who do you need to become in order to sustain the ups and downs of the coaching industry, and also your personal life, and for you to continue to keep on serving. And it's really the systems that you need to put in place. Passion can take you a certain distance, but then you're going to need systems. Passion plus systems. Well, that makes a difference.
I like that.
Passion plus systems is really what makes a difference. And Francesca, I really want to just thank you for being here. I know we've been close to an hour. It only seems like 5 minutes, right?
I know.
We can talk all night. So if people want a part 2 or Francesca part 2, let us know part 2, and maybe we can get Francesca to come back and do a sequel as
anything for Arthur.
Anything that you want to talk about, because every time we have a chat with Francesca from her experience, not only personally with her life, because we didn't hear much about the challenges you had as the crazy Italian,
Yeah, Arthur, look, if the crowd wants, if they say part 2 and then there's like a list, 20 comments and say part 2, I will show up. How about
20 comments for part 2? Come on, guys, we want 20 comments
for
part 2.
Not from the same person.
Not from the same person. Okay, log in 20 different times, 20 different names. All right, so part 2. So that's great. Look, obviously I know you've got a busy schedule too, and so we can get looked at putting that in there maybe next month or whatever the case is.
Yes.
But look, I'm excited to continue to be working with you, and I'm excited to actually, as we are training our people, our practitioners, our therapists, our healers, our coaches, to let them know the work that we're doing with you, and also recommend the Sold Out Academy, because I think no matter where you are with your business, there's always ways to improve what it is that you're doing. There's always something to learn from someone. If you get to the point where you think you know it all, I think that's the first point where you get on that. You think you're on top of the mountain's the first point where you're going to start crashing, and that's. I mean, I think we go through that. I mean, I know I went through that many times, 2 or 3 times in my 25 years, and it's not until you crash and you put your hand up for help and you start to learn again that things change. And you told the story when you started to invest in yourself again. That was just that moment. Well, I suppose you think about over the 7 years, you probably invested $250,000 in yourself at least.
Oh yeah, definitely, even more. I invested in 1 year alone, 50,000 on just my team. On my team, that was scary, because I know that if I invest in me, I'll follow through and I'll make it work and I'll get a return on investment. My team, what if they leave? What if they run away? Like, that was scary. Yeah. We'll go for 5 people in part 2. So
we're getting there. So
it looks like we're gonna do it.
So look. People say success leaves clues, and and success is a result of systems. So systems leave the clues, because systems lead to success. So if anyone's interested in learning about the systems that you might need to consider to put in place so you can have an effective coaching business, a practitioner business, a healing business, and Francesca's the one really to talk to, because there's people like us that can train you as coaches, and we can get you to a certain point. But then, at what point do you need extra help to be able to then put everything that you've learned in place? And hey, maybe you get the 2 of us, and so you're working it holistically. So again, Francesca, thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for listening. As we said, let us know if you're watching on a replay. Let us know if you want part 2. Let us know. Put in the chat productivity masterclass, or put in the chat reach out, sold out for a call. Just say call me or help me, because we've got so many tasks we're giving you right now, right? We're confusing them all. There's too many things. Just put your hand up and we'll get hold of you. But I really thank you, and I commend you for the work that you're doing, because not only for you personally with your life, you're making an impact with so many other coaches, and that helps them to continue to serve and do what they do, and they create impact. So really there's a ripple effect with what is that you do. And you might not know it, and you might not see it, but there's a lot happening out there. And I stop and think about the ripple or the tidal wave of change that's been created from that first person's paid you $180 for 4 sessions.
Yeah.
Tidal wave of change. And this is just the beginning. There's obviously new brand, Sold Out Academy, new vision. You got the agency, and I mean, this whole industry is just getting started. I think the statistics say that the coaching industry is going to be one of the top 2 or 3 booming industries in the next 5 years. So this is a time to really get in.
Absolutely,
Do it the
absolutely.
right way.
And you guys are in the right hands. Like, be active on this group. This is where you're gonna get all the tips you need to get your business to the next level. Arthur does so much on this group on his own time, and he does help and support and interviews and book club. It does everything. Like, there's so much in here. So stay active in this community. You are just gonna find value.
Thank you so much, Francesca.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you to the crazy Italian with a pink jacket, with a pink background as well. Guys, thank you for being here. Have a great Monday, and we'll see you next time. See you guys. Thank you, Francesca. See ya. Bye.
Thank you. Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, then you have to come to check out our Facebook group, Workshop Secrets for Coaches. It's a community of over 9,500 coaches that are ready to boom their business by running workshops. They are stuck in one-on-one coaching and they're ready to start to go one-to-many. So if you are one of those coaches, then you have to join us. I look forward to see you there. And hey, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave me a review to win a ticket to one of my workshops. I look forward to see you there.